from watching the film?
I think the big thing is first and second down. It's really important to get completion, stay inside the chains. I think we went to a lot of second and long, third and long, and that puts you in a tough position. So whether it's me being smart with the football, putting the ball on it, keeping the ball in play, giving our guys the opportunity to make plays, that'll help us a lot.
Nick, are you starting on Sunday?
I'm preparing to start. I haven't been told otherwise, so my preparation stays the same.
Are you taking the first team reps?
Right now we're preparing. Like I said, I haven't been told otherwise. Nothing's changed. I'm preparing to play the Cowboys.
So you don't know if you're taking the first team reps?
I just told you I am.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Nick, when you look at downfield throws, what did you see and how can those, because it seemed like that was a struggle, what can be corrected?
I think, I definitely overthrew a few, and just the big thing is just give them an opportunity to make plays. Our guys are going to go make plays. They're talented receivers and tight ends that can go up and gauge the football wherever it is. There's room for error there. If I overthrow them a little bit, there's no room for error because I overthrew them. They don't get a chance to make a play on the football. So that's the big thing I took away from that.
What's the biggest challenge and the biggest key to playing in the game of cold weather?
I think the big thing is just don't worry about it. Just go play ball, stay in the rhythm, get in the zone, get completions. I think the big thing in the cold weather is completions, but that's really football. Staying inside the chains, that's part of the football game. Because if you get down to second and medium or third and short, it's easier to execute those plays than third and long, second and long, getting back inside the chains. So it's just playing football, executing, and we didn't do a good enough job the other night executing. But fortunately, we stuck together as a team and were able to come out with the victory.
First and second downs. What do you need personally to do better on those situations to keep you out of third and long?
Just the completions. If stuff's not open downfield, get it to the back right away. I mean, if we get 3 yards, we get 3 yards, and it's 2nd and 7. That's better than 2nd and 10. It's little things like that where it's all correctable. That I see on film is taking the completions. Obviously, be aggressive downfield, but if it's not there, get it to the check down right away.
Nick, do you have a set amount of reps, series you like to get in something before you say, okay, I feel good about what we're doing?
I'm preparing to play the whole game. That's my mindset. We're playing against the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not thinking anything other than my normal preparation week and getting ready to play the Dallas Cowboys.
Nick, but did it take a little time to get acclimated to the weather last week, and are you looking forward to the opportunity to have a similar game before the postseason?
No, the weather wasn't an issue. I personally just didn't execute well enough. And looking back at the film, there's things that I can do better, that I have done better. And just seeing, whether it was fundamentally getting a little out of whack at times. And, Oakland played a really good game. I thought they did a great job on defense. But it's the little fundamentals of being a little more accurate, giving our guys the opportunity to make catches, and that doesn't have to do with the cold weather. That has to do with me as a player. So that's all correctable, and that's something that working towards this week.
So you only targeted Alshon twice. You only had 2 targets for Alshon on Sunday. Do you feel like you need this playing time on Sunday to get that chemistry better, or is that something you can build in practice?
Anytime you go into a game, you're working on chemistry, and Alshon is a dynamic receiver that can make a lot of plays, so I definitely need to, target him more. But we also have everyone can make plays. Every guy who's out there running routes, receivers, tight ends, running backs can make plays. So spreading the ball around is important, but also making sure I give Alshon opportunities to make plays because he has the ability when he's covered or double covered to make plays.
Is that hard to remember that in a game that you have a player like Alshon who you can throw the ball up to, even when he's covered in the split second? Are you able to kind of remember that?
You're reading the coverage, you're playing the play, and then there's also matchups. And I think the big thing is just looking back. That's definitely something I noticed. It's hard to cover Alshon, and even when he's covered, he's not covered. So yeah, that's definitely something that I took from the last game, and I'll move forward with.
Nick, how were the snaps between you and Kelsey? There were some drop ones, and there were some ones that were a little off, it seemed to.
Yeah, I just honestly just dropped a couple of them, and that's on me. I got to make sure I look it all the way in. A lot of times you're trying to look at the coverage at the same time, trying to see them moving because they rotate their safeties late. So you're trying to see exactly what coverage and what they're doing. So those were on me.
Nick, how are the RPOs in this offense different than maybe what you did with Chip, and just how have those evolved over the past 3 to 4 years?
I think football in general just is always expanding. To go back in that, I'd have to go through my notes. they are what they are. I'm not going to expand too much on it because I don't think it's important to.
You found some success on that last drive. What was it, tempo, or what was it that allowed you to find that success? And if it was tempo, what is it about tempo that helps you as a quarterback?
I think just through the course of those games are funny. I mean, you have those. I've had a few of those in my career. You usually get like one a game or one a year where it's sort of you're a little out of whack. Things are out of whack, and I think the important thing you do is you continue to stick to it, continue to grind, continue to work. And in that situation, our defense gave us an opportunity. And in that drive, it was really just we weren't going to be denied, and finding those completions fast and being accurate with the ball, trusting the guys, putting the ball in play. And, that's something that, looking back through the course of the game, looking at a picture on the sideline and reflecting back on it, I wish I would have done a better job earlier. But fortunately, with whatever it was, like 56 seconds on the clock, we were able to get those completions. Nelson was able to catch a route, a shallow route going across the field and get some yardage, and Ertz came up big. So, we were able to execute those plays. I don't think it had to do with tempo. It was just finding completions and giving our guys opportunity to make plays.
You had the game against Dallas comes to mind in 2013.
Yeah.
I think the next week, it was the Oakland game.
Giants, yeah.
Oh, was it Giants?
I was out with a concussion. Yeah.
Oh, right. The next game you played, though.
Yeah.
What do you remember about kind of how you got through that and how you dealt with that?
It's like anything. I mean, football is it's a crazy sport. You have a really good game, you have good games, and you have a game that's not so good. And no matter what happens, you have to treat everything, critically, in the sense of there's always corrections. Some games there's more corrections than others. This game there was a lot more corrections, but that's a learning opportunity to grow as a player, and that excites me. That excites a lot of players, especially in this building where you obviously don't want that to happen every week, but there's things that are correctable on that I'm learning from. Just like that Dallas game, I didn't play well that game at all. I suffered a concussion, but having time to look back at the film, reflect, and work on all the little things, we were able to go out and execute. And that's just the game of football. It's a week-to-week thing, and you have to continue to get better because you've never arrived.
What do you think it says about this team that you guys are having those sloppy games or you have those mistakes, but you guys still are able to pull off that one?
I think it's just the mindset of the guys, the players and the coaches and the people in this building is to never give up. I think it's important to remember we won that game as a team. Obviously the defense and special teams sort of carried us that game, but we were able to, put something together, get in field goal range, and then Jake kicked it through the uprights. So it says a lot that there are times in games like that where teams start turning on each other, and if you look at the sidelines, and I was there was never one moment where we doubted we would win that game. Defense had our back, and offense always has the defense back, and that's what creates that atmosphere where no matter what happens through the 4 quarters, we're going to stick together. And that's something that's created throughout, the coaches, throughout the off-season training, throughout OTAs, and then when it's put to the test, sticking together, that's important. That's what wins games like that.
Have you been seeing a fair amount of cover 2 these last 2 weeks?
Teams are always going to roll that in there. There's been a lot of, rolling to different types of post-safety man, post-safety zone. You got 2-man, 4-man. Teams are always mixing up coverage, especially this time of the year where everything's in. And it's getting, closer to the end of the season and playoffs. Teams have a lot in, so they'll show you different looks.
Do you think tempo is an area where you've performed really well throughout your career? Because you made it sound with Teron's question that you didn't think that tempo had much to do with, when you were in that game, the success of the offense. But it seems, if you look at your success under Chip that first year and even the second year,
for sure,
that it seems like there is a correlation there.
Well, I think just offense in general. You can say tempo, but the game before that, there wasn't a lot of tempo. So you have to be great at all those things. That tempo, no huddle, 2-minute drill, huddling up, running the full offense, that's all the offense. There's not one that's like, oh, this is the tempo. It's all the offense, and we have to execute it as a whole. There's good and bad to both. Just in that situation, it came down to we didn't have much time on the clock and just get those completions, get in the field goal range, because we have a kicker that even in those conditions can kick it through the uprights from a far distance. So there's more of a mentality of let's make plays and not be denied and give this guy an opportunity to win the game for us.
Have you found that the coaches have pulled a little bit from the old playbook of 13 to incorporate to what you're doing now?
No, we're running our offense. We're running our offense, and I love playing this offense. The coaches love it. We're running our offense.
Based on the fact that you've only really played about 2.5 games all season, are you glad that you have one more opportunity to sharpen up and the offense gets sharp going into the playoffs?
Absolutely. just having another preparation week, having another opportunity to go out there and play a game, especially here in front of our crowd. I mean, we're playing here. We're playing at the Link. We're playing in front of our fans. That's what we've, worked for as an organization all season. And we still, we get to play the Dallas Cowboys, who I know is, I've been a part of the rivalry. I grew up in Texas, and, I'm proud to be a Philadelphia Eagle. Obviously, that's a big reason why I came back here. So I'm looking forward to going to play this game against one of our rivals. Thank y'all.